What is happening, y'all? Toxico Serial, welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Today we've got Season 31, Balance Change Ideas, everyone's favorite series that watches my channel. Well, it's technically January season now that they changed it to by month instead of by season. So, I'm still going to call it by both. I don't know which one you guys prefer, but hopefully you prefer both. But before you start this, I just want to mention that, this series is going to be a thing for Brawl Stars. It will start probably early January because there's still about 27 days left of the season. I think it's 26 actually. 26 days, 13 something hours. I don't know what, but it's technically 27 in my book. So I'm just gonna point that out. So that video will be out soon. Well, I can't say soon, but it should probably be out. I'd say between 12 and 18 days for the season ends. But Clash Royale's video is today, and we're gonna be diving more in depth. I feel like most of my videos, I only talk about the top and the bottom of the tier list. I want to try to get in between and talk about some rework ideas that I came up with. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first card, number 1, I didn't have it on the list last time, but I think it might need a slight nerf. It's the Mortar. Now, I don't really know how I feel about the Mortar. I don't think the Mortar is too strong. Oh, no. Let me pause for 1 minute. I made a poor mistake. I wasn't even recording on Royale IPI, so now you see it on the screen. But anyways, the Mortar. So Mortar's got the highest rating. It's got the highest win rate at 2. So rating usually goes by win rate, and usage rate does play a little role, but doesn't really play a big role. So Mortar being used a lot by a lot of pro players. I always thought the Mortar was pretty garbage, but I don't know how I feel about the Mortar, so I'm not going to give anything, but I'm assuming it does need a nerf. I want to know what you guys think, though, because I personally don't know how to nerf the Mortar. Now, you might be surprised that the Lava Hound is not on this one. That's because I've realized a lot of counters to Lava Hound are pretty garbage, so that's why Lava Hound is usually so high, because cards like the Executioner and the Wizard, which are actually pretty decent against the Lava Hound, just suck. So you have to keep in mind that the Lava Hound is really good because a lot of cards that counter the Lava Hound are garbage. So, anyways, the next card is Graveyard, and I do think Graveyard just is strong. Okay, so Graveyard with the Mother Witch nerf is pretty strong again. I just think it spawns skeletons way too frequently. You can kind of rework it to make it spawn slower, but spawn this like more or the same, or just I don't know. I don't really know how you nerf it. Make it so that the skeletons spawn like in random instead of like it spawns in a certain circle location. They supposedly nerfed it one time where they made it spawn closer to the outer. That actually buffed the Graveyard. So I don't really know how to nerf the Graveyard because it's just been It's been a really strong card for a long time. It got kind of killed when the Mother Witch was pretty meta. Mother Witch is still meta, but not really because of that health nerf. So, and I have 2 more. I'm not really sure about this one either. Cannon Cart. Cannon Cart's been really strong for a while. Despite being nerfed, it was even considered to be an overrated card at one point. I don't know how I feel about the Cannon Cart. I think the Cannon Cart's still too strong, especially for when it's destroyed, it gets a second chance. I think you need to nerf the, the health on the base form. I don't know how to nerf the Cannon Cart, man. The Cannon Cart's just one I don't want to nerf because usually the Cannon Cart nerfs also are applied to the cannon for some reason, and the cannon's just been god awful. It's kind of underrated because it can deal okay damage to tanks, but it can't target air, which is the biggest problem. So, but this nerf is the last nerf that I have before I talk about reworks or buffs. The Archer Queen. I think the Archer Queen's ability is just it's too strong, okay? She deals 200% damage with her ability. I think that needs to be nerfed to 100 or 150 because 200 is just insane. She's still used a lot, and that's why Lightning is so good. It's because it's the hardest counter to the Archer Queen. So I think Archer Queen needs another nerf. She did fall back a little bit, and now she's back up. She's the best champion out of the 3. But the other 2 are not terrible. Gold Knight's being used a pretty decent amount and has okay win rate. Same with the Skeleton King. I think Skeleton King's a little bit underrated. That's just me, though. So, we'll stay on this tab. And I want to talk about number 44, which is the Elixir Pump. The Elixir Pump, and on ladder, I don't really play a lot of Grand Challenge. I have played before, and I see a lot of spell bait, A lot of 2.6 hog. 2. My deck, absolutely. My toxic. I'm going to call it toxic because I had that one guy, if you watch one of my shorts, just come in my clan and tell me that this deck was trash. I know, I feel your pain. My deck is pretty toxic, and I just made it with a bunch of noobish cards, but then there was this one person who said that your deck is so low skill cap. I don't care about that. I deleted that comment because I was so frustrated because I can't believe he agreed with him joining my clan. I mean, I understand. You could say that my deck is low skill cap, but you don't have to agree with the guy that joined my clan to post that crap. If you haven't watched that short, it's on the screen now. I recommend you watch it so you get a better point of view of what I'm talking about. It happened in the Royale tournament, and I ended up getting 17 wins, and that guy literally said it's not impressive. The average is 5. It's 5. That's really good. And even though people do 30, 40, that's because they're actually really good at the game. I'm not that great at the game, I'll be honest. But I don't suck at the game. You can't just say I suck. I got 17. It's not easy to get 17. Tell me if it is easy. I want to see everyone in the comments be like, hey, I can't get 17. I don't know what that guy's talking about. But I removed the comment, removed it because I was just... He had to have been supportive to that guy. Anyways, back to the balance changes. Number 44, the Elixir pump. Never used. It's got decent win rates, but I'd like to see kind of like a rework to it. It's going to sound a little bit weird. But what I want it to do is it's not going to charge automatically. It's going to charge based on the cards the enemy's plays. Like every time an enemy plays like a certain amount of Elixir, like 5 Elixir, you'll get 1 Elixir from that Elixir pump. It's still got a lifetime, still got health. I think you just need to rework it so that every time you play 5 Elixir, the person who's got the Elixir pump, like, you play it. So I'm doing a terrible job explaining this. I apologize. But say you put that in an Elixir pump. It's not going to sit there. But your enemy depends on the amount of Elixir he plays with his next played card. So if he plays a wizard, you get 1 Elixir. I'm just saying, basically, once they play 5 Elixir, you get 1 Elixir from that Elixir pump. It charges up to 5. And if you play a Mega Knight, you get 5 plus 2 more. So you get 1 plus 2 extra. They play a 3 Musketeers and you already have 1. You'll get 2 free Elixir. I think it's a unique idea because the Elixir pump just gets wrecked by spells. Fireball, Rocket, Lightning, you know it. I just personally think that it's just hot garbage. So that's my rework idea. I hope you guys like it. So if you don't, just say it because this is a really unique idea I came up with. So I'm interested to hear what you think about it. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. So we took care about the top half, and like the Elixir pump was the one I really went off topic with my rework, but I don't really think I have any more reworks except... No, I don't think it's really a rework, but I want to talk about the Giant Skeleton. So the Giant Skeleton was pretty strong for a while until they nerfed his Death Bomb. He became garbage, and then they buffed the Death Bomb so that it can deal double damage to towers. But he still sucks, and it's because he can't one-shot cards like the Ice Wizard. The Wizard, his bomb does just not deal enough damage. So what I'd like to see is like a little rework. I think the bomb needs to deal 30% more damage, but the Crown Tower needs to deal minus like 40 from what it's at now. So like plus 60%, and then the bomb in general deals 30% more. You need to make it so that it can actually deal damage. I know it's really toxic when paired with Tornado, so you got to keep that in mind. Now, the next card I want to talk about is Archers. I feel like Archers are underrated, but I don't think I've ever seen them this low, and I think it's because I don't really know why Archers are bad. I think they're actually a pretty decent and underrated card, but the problem with the Archers is there's just many different choices. I don't really know how to buff the Archers, but I think you can either buff their damage or their hit speed, one or the other. Don't buff their health because then you're buffing the Firecracker, and I'm actually going to talk about the Firecracker later. And so we'll just move on. I don't really know. Let me know what you think about Archers. You think they need a rework buff? I would not be surprised if you said no because I don't think they suck. But I want to talk about the Battle Healer. I've explained about this one every time. I'm going to say it again until they do it. Nerf the healing, buff her damage. She's been awful, and she's only used in that really bad Elixir Golem deck that just sucks. And that's, well, I'll talk about him after this card. I want to talk about the Barbarian Hut. The Barbarian Hut was really strong at one point, And then they nerfed, I forgot what they nerfed. I think they nerfed its lifetime or something like that. It's got a 0% usage rate. It's not used. I don't know. Like, they nerfed all the spawners except for Tombstone. Tombstone's really good. The other 3 spawners are not that good. And I think out of the 4, Barbarian Hut and Furnace are the worst 2. We'll talk about Furnace too. I think Furnace needs to change as well. But the Barbarian Hut, I don't know how you buff it, but I think it needs lifetime buff or the spawn rate buff. I don't know. I don't really know how to buff the Barbarian Hut either, but the Barbarian Hut is never used. That's why I don't like cards that are never used. Like, that's sad. Now we talk about the Elixir. There's 2 ways you can buff the Elixir Golem. One is by buffing the main blob's health. It's so squishy. Sparky can almost one-shot the damn thing. Or give it death damage on the first stage, not the second 2 at the end. First stage, death damage. Sounds crazy, but otherwise, I don't know, because the Elixir Golem has not been that great for a long time now. We'll move on to the 9-day Executioner. Executioner still, even with that HP buff, it's not that good. I think the Executioner needs a range buff. That's just me. I don't know how to buff the Executioner. The Executioner's been awful for a long time, and I remember the one time, just like the Witch, he got reworked, became so broken, they completely reverted him back to what he was originally, which was garbage. Next up is the Cannon. I think the Cannon just needs buff to its range or its health, but it can't be the health because, you know, you're buffing the Cannon card. Because every time they buff the Cannon, they buff the Cannon card. I don't know. Make it 2 Elixir and nerf something about it. Rework the Cannon. The Cannon's just been very low. It's only used in 2.6 Hog. It is a little bit underrated in this meta, I'll be honest. But it's not that good. Okay, Furnace sucks. I'm sorry, it sucks. I thought it was still okay. It sucks, okay? It gets one-shotted by Balloon. It's bad. Just buff the health on the Furnace. Oh, I know the Fire Spirits can be a little bit annoying because of the range now. But the Furnace sucks. Okay. So this is an interesting one. The Firecracker. The Firecracker is annoying, but she sucks. Okay, so I'd like to see her reworked. I don't know if she gets one-shotted by Log, or if she has the same health Princess. I haven't paid attention to that. I like to see her reworked. So, I like to see her damage on her back projectiles, whatever you want to call those, like her, I don't know, her cone projectiles, when it splits on the first one, that get buffed by a lot. I think that just needs to deal more damage, be more interesting. Nerf her pushback slightly. Nerf the range that the cone goes. It's technically a buff for one reason. She activates the King Tower. That's bad. That's why she sucks. It's because she always activates the King Tower. That's why she's bad. Or just rework it to Elixir. I don't know. But the one thing you definitely got to do is make sure she can't activate that King Tower. Because that is why she's so bad. And we'll talk about Mirror. I always talk about Mirror. Just remove the card, please. I mean, Mirror's so stupid. I don't know. I got something in my eyes. Apologies. But Mirror sucks. I'm surprised I didn't talk about the Witch. But I don't know how I feel about the Witch. I'm not going to explain. If you guys want to talk about the Witch, you can in the comments. But I'm not going to. And then the Wizard. Every single time. Rework to 4 Elixir. I don't know what you nerf. Or just simply buff it to 4 Elixir. Because the Wizard has been the worst card in the game for over a year now, besides the Witch and maybe Mirror. But that's it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think should have been changed, in my opinion, as well? Like, what I missed? Anything I missed? What do you agree with? Would you nerf or buff something different than what I said? Any different rework ideas? There's tons. I could have said Expo. I could have said other things. Goblin Hut. Royal Hogs. Fireball. It's a lot of things I wanted to say, but they were kind of biased, so I really didn't say it. So, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, but that's going to be the end of this Clash Royale Balance Change Ideas video, and let's try and hit 1,000 views. Like, I know I'm trying to get back into the series, so I'm not going to get a lot of views, but, yeah, I got 600 on the last one. A lot of guys like to stick around, and, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. If you don't watch anything else on my channel, which is totally fine with me. You can only watch the series. I don't really upload a lot of Clash Royale. This is the main thing. Because what do I upload in Clash Royale? Like, do I do more 1v1s with fans like I did with Safer Gamer and a person who no longer talks to me because he turned into a jackwad for some reason, but if he's there, he can't respond. I blocked him from my channel. You might know who I'm talking about, but you might not. But it is in one of my videos, and I might delete that video. I'm just going to be honest. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.